self-serving, persuasive talkers
of everything and nothing.
We are conversation con artists.
What's going on, people? It's your boy, Mr. On Point.
And I am Calamity Red.
And we are Conversation Con Artists, back for another wonderful, fantastic episode. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. MISTER_on point, and at Eddie Be Talking on TikTok, and I fucked it all up. And Eddie Be Eating. I'm just gonna leave it because I be fucking up. Y'all should know.
I can be found on Instagram at red_calamity. If you have a question, comment, Reddit letter that you would like for us to respond to on the show, you can send it to our Gmail account, which is conversationconartist@gmail.com, or you can find us on the aforementioned social media.
Yes, you can.
Did you say we have a letter?
Hell, I didn't say that. But that does not mean that I know that we don't have a letter. So let me go check.
You said we had a letter.
We do not have a letter.
Okay. I don't know where the fuck I got that from. Who knows? Okay, so theme for this week. So we missed 2 weeks. One, I was sick. And then
I was tired.
He was tired.
Not sick and tired. Just regular tired. But I am also generally sick and tired.
So I pulled these 2 weeks ago, which was the start of everybody returning back to school that is in school, whether it be college or high school, elementary school, whatever. So theme for this week is school. Okay. Still doing the themes. As long as I can find a theme, or I can and it doesn't take me too much brain power, I will continue doing themes. At the point that it takes too much brain power, I don't know.
Hey, at random times or random weeks, just send me a word request to look for, and then I'll do that one that week.
Okay.
Just send me, and I'll just give you a word. Listen, also, if you got a Facebook and you have a history of posting on Facebook a lot, even if you might not post a lot today, just go put a random word in and search it and see what posts that you made come up. I be doing that shit, and it be like, damn, I was saying some real random shit, and it don't always necessarily have the word in it. I don't know why the algorithm finds it. I put fire, shoes. I just put random words and just hit search and go to my post. I bet, bruh, I said so much weird shit on Facebook. Also, somebody tried to steal my goddamn Facebook. And y'all know that they be doing this. Mm-hmm. But let me tell you what happened. Just for anybody listening, to give you a heads up. At the middle of the night, every now and then, I wake up, I click on Facebook, I click on TikTok to see if I got any messages, something to respond to in the morning. I click on Facebook, your Facebook has been logged out. This ain't never happened. I was like, they trying to get in my account. Jumped up, ran downstairs to get on the computer because, most of the shit that you need to do to protect your account, you can't do on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to my account, try to log in with my email address. This account doesn't exist. Now, at this moment, I'm going into panic mode because it's like the account gone. What happened is they got into my account, changed my primary email, which is what I was using to log in. So the email address that I was using to log in, I couldn't log in with anymore. Now, and I couldn't recover it because all of these EDU emails that Facebook, I think now stupidly had everybody using to get into the account. Anybody who graduated and left the schools, they got them emails don't work no more. Now, Facebook did create systems where you can add other ways of logging in, but I couldn't get back in with that email. So I had to use my phone number to start logging in now.
I can't believe you still had your EDU. Do you know how long ago that was? I think it was like that because originally Facebook was meant for students to keep in contact with each other. Once you graduated high school, everybody went off to college and shit. And then it grew into what it grew into. But that's how old we are. We were there for the beginning of goddamn Facebook.
I actually think that it's still active. I just have no idea what the password is, and you would have to call the help desk to recover it, and they wouldn't let me recover it because I've gotten into it after. As a matter of fact, once they kicked me out of it, I called them and told them that I was using this email predominantly, and I didn't know that we got kicked out of it after graduating. And they reinstated it, but it seemed like they reinstated it for good. It's like instead of it being time sensitive, it was just reinstated at that point. So I
Yeah.
kept it. So what happened is I went into my Facebook, I changed my two-factor authentication. I downloaded the Authenticator app and added Facebook to it, a bunch of measures so I can get my account back if something happened. I also went to download my Facebook account. If y'all did not know this is an option. You go into Facebook, go to settings, go to my information, and you can download your actual whole profile. All your statuses, all your group posts, all your photos, videos, everything will be downloaded in that file. I suggest you do that if you're a person that's been active, highly active on Facebook. Now, what I found out that they went in and did is they went into my ads and they created ads to run, and they put a fake credit card in the ad system, or a stolen credit card, likely from China, to pay for all of those ads. Meaning that their plan was to run ads from my account with a stolen credit card. Now, why wouldn't they just use my payment method? Because they're not trying to get caught. They know that if I'm watching my bank account and if they use my personal information, then at some point they're going to get caught and it's going to get cut off. But if I don't know to be looking for, if I look at my bank account and nothing's coming out of it, but ads are coming out of my account, they're going to get paid. Now, this is what happens. Once that Chinese card gets flagged, though, what happens is any ads that weren't paid for up to that point, once you cancel that card, it's going to say you have an outstanding balance, and they're gonna make you pay it. So be careful with this stuff. And if it look like somebody done got into your account, go through your account and see if anything has been changed. Luckily, the reason I knew that those ads were running was because they didn't turn off the ad notifications. And so in my main page, it said your ad just started running for like 2 different ads. And I was like, huh? So be careful out here, y'all. It's some scammers. And it might be a scammer listening. You know, and they might be getting some insight. Aha, either this is good or he's on our ass. God dang. Why he telling the people? It ain't that many people, okay? For the first thing. You know. And I like a scammer as much as the next. But I don't like indiscriminate scamming. Go scam the rich. Get on some Robin Hood shit. Don't scam us. You know? Scam corporations. Motherfuckers got it. They making motherfucking record profits. Anyway. Yeah.
Okay. School. School is the theme.
What happened when I drink coffee, y'all? I drank coffee today.
I haven't looked at these in 2 weeks, so I don't even know what the titles are anymore. Am I the asshole for telling everyone my daughter is actually taking a gap year because she didn't get into university as she failed high school? Why the fuck would you embarrass her like that? Like, where you felt needed to say that? Why? Am I the asshole for telling my husband to get over himself when he started berating me for not picking up his brother's son from school? Did you agree to pick him up and then pick him up? Am I the asshole for suggesting my stepchild go to boarding school? Try to get that motherfucker out the house.
You just falling right into the motherfucking step parent tropes. Like,
Yeah.
goddamn. You know, new parent comes to life. Get rid of these kids.
Yep.
And you know the motherfucker had a kid from the jump.
Absolutely. Okay. Am I the asshole for matching with my high school friend on Tinder and messaging her on Insta after she deleted the match? She probably didn't. She didn't want to be matched. Then you go find out on Instagram. That's awkward, man. And say what? Why you unmatch me? Why would you do that? Am I the asshole for not dropping my son off at school anymore? I don't know what the reason could be that you're not doing that. Am I the asshole for getting mad at my niece, in quotation marks, for calling me her uncle, in quotation marks, at school? So who are you to her?
Yeah, this sound a little bit inappropriate.
It does. Am I the asshole for not letting my daughter go to the same school as my niece? Why would you care? Am I the asshole for not inviting my parents to my high school graduation? That sounds like some shit I would do. With my dad. Am I the asshole for getting my son school supplies for his birthday? That is fucking terrible. Y'all should see his face.
Cheap ass motherfucker.
And then, am I the asshole for asking my daughter questions to verify whether she was really telling the truth about being bullied at school? You interrogated her? Basically, about being bullied?
A parent. Like, this is a parent that used to bully motherfuckers, I feel like. Like, why wouldn't you just believe your child? It's just best to believe your child until you have evidence to the opposite.
Because you're going to be on the wrong side of history.
Mm-hmm. That's like, what was you wearing type shit if when a woman got assaulted.
It's exactly that, yeah. Yep.
All right. I want to know about the Instagram match.
Okay. Okay. Am I the asshole for matching with my high school friend on Tinder and messaging her on Insta after she deleted the match? He is 23 and she is 22. I recently got a match on Tinder with my high school friend. We got along in high school and we spent some time as friends. We became friends after one school trip with her class and mine. She is really beautiful, but she had a boyfriend at the time, so I didn't try to flirt with her at all. Fast forward to today when I was swiping right on Tinder and I matched with her. I didn't recognize her at first, but the name and a face seemed familiar, so I asked if she went to the high school I attended. After that, she deleted the match. I was surprised, so I wanted to make sure if I matched with the correct person and checked her Instagram. We were following each other, but I wasn't very active on there, so I unfollowed. It was the same person as my Tinder match, so I DM'd her, "Hi, it seems like we matched on Twitter." She seen my message around 20 minutes ago, but she didn't respond yet. I'm starting to think that I did something wrong. Am I the asshole, sir?
Asshole is a strong word.
Asshole is, you're just like delusional. It's just sad. You're not an asshole.
I don't even think he's delusional. I think that he's not being honest with himself.
Okay.
I think that he's saying, well, I just wanted to see if it was her from my high school. But he knows it's her from the high school. What he really wants is her to really want him, and to her unmatching with him to have been a mistake, maybe. He wants to connect with her. He's just not being honest with himself. Just say, damn, she connected with me, and I want to go through all the metrics to determine if this was a mistake or not. But you know what? That is creepy to women. It is stalky to women.
It is.
Don't do that. If a woman don't match with you and stop talking to you, block you, that is not a sign for you to go try to find her and figure out what happened.
No.
What happened is you need to just goddamn be at peace with what happened and move on.
Yep.
That's what you need to do, because anything that you do past what it seems like a woman is comfortable with is going to come off as creep vibes. And you know what? We did this shit. We created a society where women are not comfortable just telling us no straight up. So they got to do it covertly. They got to motherfucking block your ass. They got to give your ass the wrong number. They got to do shit to protect themselves, because the motherfuckers that wear the same meat suits we wear done been so violent and aggressive with them that I got to walk up to them like they a goddamn bunny rabbit in the forest just to get a goddamn, hey, how are you doing in? But I got to take the L's with the motherfuckers that did it bad, unfortunately. This is what it is. Don't do that. You're not an asshole, but you're coming off as fucking desperate and uninformed about women.
Yeah.
If you're attractive enough to be matched with by her, you're attractive enough to be matched with by other people. And if you're not attractive enough to be matched with by other people, and the only attractive people that match with you are people who unmatch with you, you know, once they realize what they've done, you better work on them jokes. You better work on giving head to women. You better work on, you know, all of these different redeeming qualities about yourself. Your respectfulness, your kindness, your acknowledging, your dialogue, having conversations. A lot of that shit give you points if you're not that attractive. That's just what it is. Get some social skills. Sorry.
Yeah.
Learning how to give women head probably went into the wrong category.
Yeah, because you got to get next to them.
That's meat insecurity, not necessarily life insecurity.
I'm not doing this today.
Learning how to give women head is a good, is a good skill set to know.
It's not going to be helpful to you in the meeting stage, though, because she's not going to know.
It can be.
How?
Because you walk with the confidence knowing that when you get to the place of using that skill, that it gives you confidence in how you talk to them. It's the same thing as big dick energy. If
I mean,
you aren't worried about, like, I mean, you already worried about, engaging with a woman. Okay, successful at that. You worried about attracting a woman. Okay, you successful at that. But then you get to the sex stage and you all worried. No, you got to fix that skill up. You got to go get you a grapefruit and open that thing up and put your nose in it. Because sometimes you're going to be down there and you ain't going to be able to breathe. Because the shit she be doing with her body, like she be pushing your head down and now your nostrils is fucking clogged up and your mouth already goddamn occupied. So your ass, you got to figure out how to pull up without impacting her pleasure in that moment. You know what I'm saying? It's a skill set. It's a skill set. Sex, intimacy, affection, skill sets. Okay? But if you have that skill set, the confidence that you have engaging with women, you have one less barrier. Unfortunately, you normally got to be good at number 1 to get to number 2, good at number 1 and number 2 to get to number 3. So they usually don't really happen like that. Not for the guys who struggle with that social part. But yeah, don't do that, man.
Don't fucking, yeah.
All right, uncle, not uncle.
Okay, I hope this isn't creepy. It just has like creepy undertones, but maybe it's not. It could be completely innocent. Okay. Oh. Okay. He is 17 and his niece is 16.
Oh, okay. This changes things. This changes the perception of what it could be.
Yeah. So
this one of them, one parent had their child pretty young and another parent had their child pretty late. No, wait a minute. Yeah, and then there's a discrepancy.
Yes. So both my niece and I were oops babies, just at different stages of our parents' lives. We are only a few months apart in age. Let's call my niece E. E and I are in the same grade. I'm only older by 2 months. We started going to school together in middle school, and because we have the same last name, most people thought we are cousins. Even though we are not technically cousins, that's more of the dynamic E and I have. I have never considered E to be my niece, and she doesn't call me uncle. So I don't really considers me as an uncle. We have a few classes together. One is anatomy and physiology, a class I happen to struggle a bit with. How my teacher does seating is we have long tables and get sat next to another person. She assigns seats in alphabetical order. So, of course, having the same exact last name, E and I sit next to each other. Yesterday, we got back a test and I got a B+ on it, which was great for me. E looked over my test and said, "Oh, my uncle is so smart." And she ruffled my hair. I have a few friends in that class and they laughed along with a few other kids. She didn't say it super loud, but loud enough for others to hear, which is embarrassing. I stopped E before the next class and told her to stop calling me her uncle. She said, "Wow, I was just teasing and it's not like people are just finding out." I told her I don't care and to stop being so annoying. And I even said I wish I wasn't your uncle because I wanted her to stop. She left and I always take her to and from school and she didn't say anything in the car. Well, my mom got a call from my sister-in-law saying how E was crying about what I said to her. My parents both got really mad at me, telling me to grow up and that I was acting like a brat. My brother, who is E's dad, called me an asshole. Basically, everyone is mad at me, but I was just trying to get my point across to E.
You weren't trying to get no point across. Your motherfucking little fragile ass ego got impacted because the kids laughed at you when she called you uncle. And now you don't went into full blown fucking embarrassed teenager mode and don't went the nuclear option.
Yep.
That's what had nigga, be honest with yourself. You're not being honest with yourself.
Well, to be fair, he's 17. None of them are honest with them. They don't even know how to be honest with themselves.
You're right. You're right. You're not gonna be honest with yourself at 17.
No. Hell, it's grown folks that ain't honest with their goddamn self. Listen, it was in poor taste. I don't know that I would say he was an asshole. He's 17. Like, he responded the way a fucking 17-year-old would respond. I don't know, like, let's see. I'm trying to think if it's his brother-in-law, so that means that it's his sister. His brother-in-law is E's dad. I'm trying to figure out the dynamic. If a family member, let me just say, called me and said that my son hurt their kid's feeling because he didn't, want them calling him Uncle Sam. I don't know that I called my kid an asshole. Like, I'd be like, bro, what's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? You are her uncle. Like, let's talk about it. I don't know that I would feel like he was an asshole because nobody like to be laughed at. Okay? Like, nobody likes to feel embarrassed. So I would have a conversation with him, but I don't know that I would think he was an asshole. I'd just be like, look, I know the kids laughed and that bothered you, but that don't mean you get to take it out on her. You need to apologize.
Reasonable adult.
Huh?
You're a reasonable adult, though.
Well, I try to be. I am sometimes. But it's just strong to call the kid an asshole. Like, he got embarrassed. That shit is embarrassing. Don't no kid want to be in a classroom and everybody laughing at them. What the fuck? Nobody wants that. Like, and you ain't never called him uncle before. Like, girl, just calm down. It's not. It's just not that deep to me. It's just not. It's a simple situation.
I also don't think that was no goddamn go home and tell mom and daddy type shit either.
No, it isn't. Like, girl, child.
Like, what you want me to call you? Just your name? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Because, it seemed like she just called him by his name. She just, in that moment, just thought, trying to be funny, was like, my uncle is so smart because she don't normally call him that. So, but yeah, you're right. It definitely wasn't nothing to go home crying. Not just tell your parents. Crying to your parents? Like, bitch, if you don't get out of here, what are you crying about? Why are you just hurt by this? Like, that's a little much.
And I wonder how she told her folks. Like, did she say, well, I kind of like was joking on him a little bit?
Absolutely not. She did. Sure, she didn't tell that part.
She didn't tell him that.
She just made him look like an asshole. Like, he just said this mean thing to me and he doesn't want to be my uncle anymore. You 16, ma'am, not 5. I can see a 5-year-old doing that, right? Like, getting upset, not understanding, and getting more upset about it. But a 16-year-old, like, girl, what is you crying for? Calm down. It's definitely not that deep.
Chill, Shawty.
That shit would be weird. I'm so glad I was never in that position where, like, my nieces and shit are close to my age. It should be weird. There is some of that in my family, but none that directly impacts me. That shit was weird.
When my daddy got out of jail, my daddy got married the day he got out of jail, mind you. Y'all don't remember that story. That's happened.
That's right. Yeah.
And his wife was about 18 years older than him. So when me and my brother he got out when I was 14. So I'm 14, my brother's 11, went to go visit him in Georgia at, his new wife's house. She had kids that were like in their 30s and 40s while we were very young kids. And so technically they are step siblings, but they just treating us like shit because they mad that they mama done went and married this young ass nigga that was in jail. I'll be mad as fuck too. Like, what the fuck you doing this for, mama? Or what you doing this for, nigga? What you trying to get out of my mama? Now, it's debatable whether she came out on top because financially he was able to provide them a good life. He was just a fucking serial philanderer. So I guess it depends on how you feel about philandering and being philandered against in that situation. But I get kind of like that situation where you got like family that's on different, kind of in different lanes, and it do get uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it just never got uncomfortable socially. If I was an asshole when I was young, I would have been like, thanks, step sibling. They probably would have been like, that's disrespectful.
You would have been the niece. You that niece in this story.
I would have been, and I would have probably been shunned for disrespect. Am I wrong? You're a child. You ain't supposed to be saying shit like that. What, to my step siblings? Old ass motherfuckers. And you know what? So to break it down, the way that my stepmama found out about my daddy is that her sister's husband was also in jail with my daddy. So she was coming to visit her husband. And I guess her husband said, hey, it's a dude in here. He pretty good. He get out in 2 years. You should tell your sister to come meet him. And
I
the
wish
sister
the
did
fuck one if I had a sister. Bitch, do what you want to do and live your life the way that you choose to live it, girl. I would never tell you otherwise. However, how dare you come and suggest that I come with you to the motherfucking prison to meet a nigga that's friends with the nigga you going to see? I think you're crazy for going to see the nigga you going to see. For you to think that I'm finna come up in there shopping for a fucking husband out of the girl, bye. Get out of here. You've lost your ever loving mind. No. No, I'm not coming with you to the prison to meet your dude's friend who's also incarcerated. Get the fuck out of here. And what? What? So I can just come travel with you and we can come in here and sit and talk and then pay for phone calls and shit, put money on books, bitch. This sounds like I'm not winning in this situation.
I don't even know what my daddy, knowing him, could say in a meeting like that would make somebody be like, yeah, I'm coming back next time too, and keep doing that for damn near 2 years until he get out. I have no fucking idea. My daddy ain't social like that. I don't know what it. I don't know.
I don't know.
She's passed away now, and her kids came and robbed the house. They came. My dad, when she died, from the insurance policy, my daddy gave all her kids $10,000.
Okay.
And my daddy was living in North Carolina at this point. They went to the house and they broke in it. They didn't break in it. Somebody had a key, but they went in and they took so much shit. They took covers and furniture and all kinds of shit that they felt like belonged to their mama. And it's probably the case that my daddy probably would have gave them a lot of it if they had just asked for it. So he had to have the locks changed and barred so none of them could get in.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Your parents have like wheels and stuff?
My mom does.
About pops?
I'm the executor. Oh, I don't know. He ain't got shit. My mom got.
What did I say? Executor or executor? You said executor, like you finna kill that nigga. I feel like
executor. It's executor.
I feel like bringing up your daddy the reason why the word execution was in your head.
Maybe.
As soon as I said that your daddy got one, you said I'm the executor. You're the executor, but I understand the sentiment.
I'm the executor of my mom's will, which I'm not the oldest. Normally, it's the oldest child, but that just gives you an idea how fucked up my two older brothers are, that she had to skip them and come down to me.
You're the responsible one.
They don't make it's two motherfuckers older than me. Normally, it's your oldest child that becomes the executor of your will.
She know her kid's crazy. This
she
is
does.
how you know she know. She might be able to pretend on the outside, but this is how you know they crazy. It's like, them two niggas? One of them is like crazy, and the other one, if he ever find out this secret, he gonna take all the shit and run. So you the one that's gonna be the most reasonable.
Yeah.
And parents do that, I guess, because my Aunt Regina, she the reasonable one. They know they shouldn't have gave that shit to my mama. She ain't had shit together. Shouldn't have gave it to Aunt Lydia. She ain't had shit together. Uncle Edwin left home the fucking moment he got a chance to, because my granddaddy was an athlete and his first son was a nigga with asthma that was gonna be best suited for playing the trombone instead of sports. So my granddaddy spent my uncle's whole childhood trying to get him to throw some balls and hit some balls, and he was just not fucking having that shit. Now my Uncle Reginald came along, which is Aunt Regina's twin, and he was the super athlete. But now he got fucking knee problems, back problems, his whole body fucked up.
Yeah.
Surgery here, surgery there. I'm like, man, how far can you really play football and it not take a toll on your body later on in life?
I don't think it is. It's because it's too much of a contact sport. I feel like
playing through high school should be fine, because at that point you get like your body has just now adjusted to all of that shit, and it grows with those things in consideration. I think when you start playing past through college, I think you're probably doing irreparable harm.
Yeah.
You know, the body ain't meant to go through all that shit. Why are we doing that?
For entertainment.
Are you not entertained?
Exactly. I was just gonna say, for the same reason that they had gladiators and was putting them in fucking terrible positions for entertainment. That's for entertainment. At other people's expenses. Because I'd be damned if I were gonna be fighting a goddamn lion for the rich folks to be able to sit around and watch that shit. Fuck y'all.
There's a lot of parents not allowing their kids to play football, and it's a lot of parents taking their kids out of football because of these kids that are having cardiac arrest.
There was one just here.
Yeah.
That died.
And the question that people are asking is, are these cardiac arrests related to COVID? And stress cardiomyopathy is something that does happen related to a condition regarding COVID, but it does not have a high fatality rate. It is something that happens and then it gets better.
Yeah.
So there is no current correlation between COVID and these cardiac arrests that kids are having. The reality is kids have been dying on the football field since goddamn 1998.
Yeah.
Because this is the thing. I collaborate. Meds Plus, they come to the Brother Let's Talk meeting, and it's two black women that are pharmacists. And a guy asked this question this week. This is why I'm informed about it. She said that there is a condition that underlies a lot of people where their hearts are not up to par with what sports are going to make them do. And the physicals that we take before we play is supposed to detect that. But when you go to get a physical, all they do is grab your balls and tell you to cough. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to be detecting. Did you know that?
No.
When men go get a physical, the doctor grab your balls and tell you to cough.
I knew that.
What?
But I didn't know that. What is it for?
Why no. I don't know what that is for. But what they're not doing is checking to see if you have that heart condition that doesn't make you suitable for it, because it costs too much money and it takes too much time, and all these kids coming in here for this. And so since it's been a long-standing history of those physicals not being sufficient enough to determine it, and a lot of kids are dropping dead because of that. Over years, this shit have been happening a lot. We heard about a kid that dropped dead on the field in our damn high school days. That said, people are trying to correlate it to COVID, and there's no correlation to that. The issues tend to be those things that should be detected before physical. And LeBron James, like any athlete who got kids, I understand why you will overlook that. But like LeBron James, they should have made sure that their kids are suitable for the sports that they playing in that way before it got to the point. You know what I'm saying? But just said that to say there's no correlation with COVID.
This is completely off topic, but you said something about what did you say that made me think of this? Oh, my brother's secret. If he found out about the secret. So I found out maybe a couple of weeks ago at this point, I think. A few weeks ago, not a couple. My aunt, one of my mom's sisters, is writing a book. Now, the book is supposedly supposed to be about her life, but I feel like this is her guise for dropping a bunch of family secrets. I don't know that that's true. It hasn't come out yet, but my instinct and my gut is telling me that there's going to be a bomb dropped in my maternal side of my family. But
and you said she don't like your mama?
She is not. She's in a one-sided what's the word?
Rap beef?
Not a rap beef. She's in a one-sided competition. I can't think of the correct word with my mom, because my mom ain't in competition with her. But she's always been jealous of my mom. So like, I don't think she hate her. I think, jealous ones always envy. That's her. She's jealous. To the point of, so recently, let's just give you how much of a hater she is. My mom bought a Buick Encore a couple of years ago. She now drives like a 2021 niece, I forgot, some other SUV my mom got. So, but she had a Buick Encore. So my aunt went and bought a 2022 or 2023 Buick Encore. All the cars you could have got, and you went and got a newer version of the one that my mom had. Now, mind you, my aunt cannot afford this shit. Okay, so this is gonna be terrible in a few months when she ain't ever make these goddamn payments. She gonna be asking everybody for money because that's what she does. But that's just an example of how much of a hater she is. And my mom is not she ain't never been, she don't care. My mom doesn't give a fuck. My mom is just who she is. My mother is a very charismatic, talkative person, and people like her. My Aunt Rose is less likable, and that's just what it is. She's not even my favorite aunt. She's not. I love her. She's not my favorite aunt though. So, it's just weird that she's like in her 60s. Why are you writing a book about your life? Supposedly about your life. I don't feel like it's going to be completely about her life, but I don't even know what the motivation is because this shit came out of nowhere. So I'll update y'all, but it's fucking wild, man.
I feel like this is like a nuclear option. I feel like this is a whole trap, a whole setup. She's setting up a whole bunch of shit in a very meticulous way. And I think that your mama is going to be on the bad side of this situation.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what's brewing up. Now, if this is just a subjective experience and expression that don't got nothing to do with other people,
it won't be.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a problem.
My aunt is a forever victim. Everything in her life is bad because of people around her. My grandparents, the men that she had children by. And mind you, let me just say this. Again, love my aunt. However, she was like the original side bitch. Well, maybe not the original. It's probably somebody in the Bible might be considered the original, but she goes way back, okay? She has 3 kids. All 3 of them have different fathers, and all of their fathers were involved with other people at the time that she conceived them.
Jeez.
And so all their dads were not involved in their life because of this.
Bro, this high level daddy issues right here.
Yeah, she had a big my grandfather was a terrible alcoholic. He was also just a mean motherfucker. Like, he wasn't never mean to me, but he wasn't the grandpa y'all see on them TikTok videos. Okay, he was not that. He grumbled and mumbled his words, so you could never fucking understand him. And so what I just did as a child was, if he laughed, I laughed. I might be laughing at some really fucked up shit and not even know it because I couldn't understand it, but you couldn't just keep saying, "What, grandpa?" Because he'd get mad. So you just had to act like you understood what he said. But when he got older and got towards where right before he died, he got even more mean. And he was in the hospital. I don't know what my aunt said. I wasn't there. I'm so sad I wasn't there. But when I say he slapped the shit out of her face in front of everybody in that hospital room, I don't remember what she said, but he fucking gave her a very hard slap to her face.
How many years ago was this?
My grandfather's been dead for a while, so my grandmother died when I was in grad school? I can't remember. I was college. I want to say I was in college.
It was a point in time when I knew you.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in your vicinity.
Was it? Okay, so then
yeah, because I think that you got a flower or a quilt or something from your grandma's funeral, and I asked about it.
My grandma's funeral was like 2015 though. My grandfather died before her.
No, that's what I'm saying. But you saying your granddad died while you were still in college.
Okay, so maybe not. Maybe
I didn't know if you were saying my grandma died when I was you said my grandma died when I was in college. And I was just letting you know that like it was in college after me and you met.
Yeah.
Because I remember you going to that funeral.
It had to be earlier than that. But yeah, so it was some years ago. It was not Reed. We talking
Villain origin story.
yeah.
That shit
Well,
started then.
she was already a villain because she didn't did some
But
stuff.
the thing is, every villain has a potential to be a villain, but they don't become a villain until some shit happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why I think about Electro from Spider-Man just because Jamie Foxx played such a good villain, because he was just this lowly, low self-esteem janitor, and then he got electrocuted and turned into electricity, and he was like the shit then. Like, your aunt became Electro with that slapped the energy into her ass. Now that she started this whole plan. She came up with the title of her book, In the Dark, with a red light from behind her while she was writing on that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Now she got a plan. This shit ain't finna be good for y'all family. I mean, you ain't gonna be impacted.
It ain't gonna be. She ain't got nothing she can say about me. It's gonna probably impact her generation of folks. So like my mom, my aunt, my uncle, like them. So this ain't the first time she's done this. So when I must have been in like elementary school, so this is a very long time ago. She wrote an op-ed piece for the town newspaper where I'm from, talking shit about my grandparents, naming them by name and basically saying that they were abusive and terrible and mistreated. So she did this shit before. On a smaller scale. I mean, the fact of the matter is, my aunt is not some fucking New York Times best-selling author. The only people that's gonna end up reading this goddamn book is family members. Nobody else is gonna read this. Nobody else is gonna care. So she's writing this to blow up the family. That's exactly what she's doing it for. Because ain't nobody else gonna read it.
Do you know how many of your books have to be purchased to become a New York Times bestseller?
I have no idea.
1,500.
That's not a lot.
It isn't. So when you see all these different books becoming New York Times bestsellers, it's because most of the time they don't purchase 1,500 copies of their own books.
That makes it less
off rip.
Yeah, that makes it
much less. Like, if you gonna make a book, you need to have enough money to buy 1,500 copies. But that 1,500 copies will make you a ton of money because people just be buying books and reading them because New York Times bestseller. I just found that out. TikTok be teaching you so much damn shit about shit.
It does.
Have you seen the wasp gasoline trick?
What the fuck is that?
If you get a clear cup of gasoline, just like a little bit at the bottom, and you got a wasp nest and you cover the wasp nest with it,
it kills them.
All of them just fly into the gasoline. And I'm like, bro, like,
what's the science behind that? Why the fuck would they do that?
I think that once they leave, they don't got nowhere to go. I think that their span of flying is very high, like to where a fly can just fly in a little bitty like concentrated area. I think that they got a higher concentrated area. So once they fly in, I don't think they can go. I don't think they can not go as far as it take them to get away from the gasoline. You know what I'm saying? It's like how far their wings make them go when they flying. I don't think they have a choice really.
Yeah. And
once they start smelling that gasoline, you be like, "Hey, it's an emergency. Let's get out of here!" And then they do.
Yeah, I have seen that. But I don't know why I went off on this tangent. But I just wanted to. So I'll keep y'all updated because a bitch is gonna read the fuck out of this book. Okay, I'm going to purchase and read this fucking book.
I feel like we should just keep talking about family shit.
Okay.
So when my granddaddy died in 2018, I want to say, I set up videos to record everybody talking about granddaddy, right? And they are some pretty good fucking videos. The sound is good. The conversation is good. The way I was leading the conversations was good. And it was good to see people having those conversations. So I'm finna like compress them all and then put them on Google Drive and then send the links to everybody so everybody can see them. I don't know what I thought I would do with them before when I was doing them, but I ain't do nothing with them.
Would not have. Oh my god, I didn't even. She must have put it. So okay, I sent my brother. So my aunt sent me a picture of her book jacket because she messy. I just why I feel like it because I don't even know why the fuck you send that to me. We ain't even close. So like I got it randomly. But anyway, apparently there's some words on it. I didn't even read it. My little brother just sent me a My little brother just sent me a text message. So it is a little bit of writing on the book jacket, and it says that she's been writing poetry for over 30 years. She hopes to inspire the reader to discover the silver lining in every cloud.
Mm.
And so my brother just texted me and said, "Writing poetry for over 30 years, nigga, stop it, cap." I didn't even see that shit. I didn't even see it because it's very small writing. So I just saw. I didn't even realize she had no writing on the book jacket.
You know, everybody origin story do something different when they getting big. You know what I'm saying? Like my brother be talking about, he acting out in Hollywood. He talking about he always wanted to act. Nigga, where? Your motherfucking ass ain't always wanted to act. What? That was a adult revelation. Motherfucker acting like he was goddamn
like a small child
doing fucking Polaroid film, goddamn stop motion shit. Growing up. Now I can't say that internally he didn't see actors and be like it would be cool to do that.
Yeah.
You know, and he don't necessarily paint it like he was doing shit that people should have seen. So he can be telling the truth, but ain't no evidence to support that shit from my lens. He was pretty heavy, leaned on football pretty heavy because he's 6'9".
JD is tall as fuck. The thing is, she's not technically lying. She has always wrote, unreadable poetry that didn't make sense to nobody but her. She has. Saying it like that makes it things like she's an established, Maya Angelou type of poet that's been writing and publishing for 30 years. That way she phrased it.
I feel like that's how y'all reading it.
No.
Read it again. Hold on. I read it. Just thought you read it.
I didn't even read it. I didn't see it, to be fair. But she's been writing poetry for over 30 years. She hopes to inspire the reader to discover the silver lining in every cloud. I feel like if you don't know her, right, because we're looking at this from the lens of somebody that would be looking at this book jacket, reading that little blurb that doesn't know her. You're going to assume that she's been like writing poetry, not just like writing in a journal at her house, shit that was inconsequential to anyone but her.
What do you think you would find if you went through your mama's text message history with her? What kind of conversation would that be?
With them?
Yeah.
My aunt asking for a bunch of shit.
That's like, what it would be the whole time.
Pretty much.
Your mama ever get like clap back at motherfuckers for any kind of reason?
No.
She ain't that kind of person. Is that because she ain't that kind of person, or is it because she is a Christian?
Mixture of the two. Well, because it's hard to say. Her Christianity is so tied up into her personality at this point. It's hard to say. She'll clap back at shit that don't make sense to clap back at, but like she gives so much leeway to people, which is why I don't give none. Because I grew up seeing her constantly turning the other cheek and not be like, I'm a petty bitch, okay? Because we're not gonna sit up here and act like you're gonna play in my face. We're not gonna do that. And I think that I have that attitude because of her, because watching her let people walk all over her. And she has a strong personality. It's always been confusing to me that somebody with such a strong personality, because of her Christianity, she just let people do whatever the fuck. Like, without that, she would be clapping back at motherfuckers, but she's not gonna do it because Jesus wouldn't like it. So then she ends up turning the other cheek till she's spinning in circles because she's having to turn so goddamn much. So then that made me see and that girl up be like, oh no, nope, nope, immediately no, immediately no. Right. You can go kick fucking rocks. So yeah, I don't know. She does not ever. My aunt's done some fucked up shit. Okay, my mom and her other siblings had to pay for my grandmother's funeral because we found out that my aunt had been siphoning money out of her insurance account. So when she died, it wasn't no fucking money left. And they ended up having to pay out of pocket to bury my grandmother. Nobody fucking got in her ass about that. I wish my brothers fucking would. They know better. Because it ain't gonna be no kumbaya shit, okay? I'm gonna have police at the door to escort you if you even try to come into my mama's funeral that I had to fucking pay for with your stealing ass. You're not even coming in here. Don't even fucking show up, thief. For all I know, you'll be in here pickpocketing motherfuckers because obviously you so hard up for cash that you stealing from somebody's fucking insurance policy like a bitch. Like, there's no way that I can deal with that.
You seen Four Brothers?
A long time ago.
The way the movie Four Brothers end is that the four brothers were told by the bad guy, Victor Sweet, that you need to bring me my $1 million. I don't know how much it was, but you need to bring me my $1 million. And they set up where to meet, and they met in the middle of a frozen lake. And the four brothers came up with the money, and Victor Sweet was like, yeah, motherfuckers. And he was like, oh, this money ain't for you. And he was like, what the fuck you talking about? He was like, this money is for them. And his crew that he been treating like shit for so long, like pretty much beat his ass and threw him in the lake. That's what happened. Like, that's how you deal with a fucking a chaotic boss. Anyway, yo mama and her sister should have put her in a circle. I ain't saying they should have killed her. If they would have, I understand. But they should at least beat her ass real fucking good. However much it costs to pay for that shit, that many licks.
Yes. They didn't do shit to her. She came to her. Then she's sitting at the front.
I don't believe in violence.
At the funeral, crying harder than any motherfucking body. That shit pissed me. When I say I had a scowl during my grandma's whole funeral, because I was just sitting up there like, y'all letting this bitch get away with this. There's no way. There's no way. First of all, this would never happen because my mama know my brother. We've just discussed. She know them well enough to know not to ever put them in, over nothing. My grandmother should have known that my aunt was not somebody that needed to have access to shit because of how she is. That was a failing on my grandmother's part, to be fair, because my aunt should never be trusted with shit. And I don't even know why she chose my aunt. I mean,
is she the oldest?
No, my mom is the oldest. She's the second oldest.
That's family secret shit right there.
I don't know. Apparently, I mean, it might all be in the book. I don't fucking know. I bet she,
After you read the first chapter, you need to let me know if it's worth getting this book to see what your family talking about.
Yeah. My cousin calling me now. I'm gonna call her back. She probably sent that book jacket to everybody.
This is finna be good.
In the worst way possible, yes. Again, I know my only concern, I was trying to think if there was anything that could be in there that would make me look at my mom different. Like, I wouldn't want to read no shit that I can't unknow. And now I'm like side-eyeing her forever. But I don't know. I feel like I already, in my mind, think that whatever the fuck has been going on is bad, that to the point where if I found out what it is, I don't even think I would be shocked. Because I imagine it to be really bad anyway, for it to be a 50-year-old secret.
Okay. You found out that your mama murdered somebody.
Yeah. I mean, I can live with that.
That's
I don't
fine.
care. Yeah.
You found out.
I don't know what this says about me, but
you found out that your mama had an inappropriate sexual affair with a pastor that was married.
I'd be mad because you pushing this religion shit and you doing this fuck shit. You putting for years been telling us all this fucking shit about religion and Christianity and paying tithes, and you doing this shit. That would piss me off. That would make me mad just because of how religious she is.
Okay, so we know church is going to be a trigger. So if it's anything related to church, probably going to be a trigger. What if you found out that she married your daddy on an arrangement or on a bet?
If I had to suffer my whole life from a goddamn bet, that would infuriate me.
Okay, so we know daddy shit will be a trigger.
I feel about that. So I don't know. I think I did talk about this before on the show. When I found out, I always heard people say patience of Job, but when I found out the story of Job was basically that God and the devil had a goddamn bet, and he just ruined this man's life to prove a point. Job, first of all, I probably never would have been like God's strongest, um, disciple. I wouldn't have been the person that was worshiping him the most in the first place. But I can't find that shit out. You fucked my life up over a bet? Really? That's how I would feel about finding out that my mom lost a bet and married my dad and put us all through hell. I no.
Okay, so you do have some side-eye worthy.
There are
metrics.
Some side-eye things. Yeah. Well, I guess we're gonna see, because she's, I don't know if reading that blurb makes me feel like it's gonna be in poetry form for her to mention that she writes poetry. I don't know.
That'll be safe. Yeah.
Maybe. I feel like that might be worse, because then poetry is something where the reader has to infer their own.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Fuck you. I feel like that's the kind of energy she's gonna come with the poetry on.
Yes. It's still gonna be shady. I don't know. I'm interested. Again, the fact that she's sending the book jacket out. Because here's the thing. She didn't tell me. The only reason I knew that she's doing this is because she told my mom and the siblings, and my mom called me upset about it because she was like, she didn't understand why she felt the need to do this, right? So she didn't directly tell me that she was writing a book. So for her to just send me the book jacket out of nowhere when we haven't had a previous conversation about the fact that she even wrote a book is wild to me. Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. And then my cousin just called me. So, like, who knows? Don't know. Don't know what's going on. But I will keep y'all updated, because I feel like it's going to be very interesting. And it ain't my shit. Sometimes people are like, you talk so freely about, like, your dad having, like, an alcohol problem and stuff. It's because I grew up being so ashamed of that. And what I had to realize is that ain't nothing for me to be ashamed about. I ain't do shit. So now I have no problem talking about it, because this does not reflect poorly on me, because I didn't do shit. So it don't bother me now because I've like separated myself from it. Like growing up, it used to really, like, it was such an embarrassment because people at school knew how he was, and just, it was jokes all the time. And so that made me develop a sense of shame about it. But once I got out the house and realized that, like, I could just let people would get to know me, and people would judge me based off of me and not the shit dumb niggas did, I ain't give a fuck no more. Don't care. Nothing for me to be embarrassed about. So it doesn't bother me to talk about it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Big ass tangent. But I just thought that was interesting.
I mean, it is very interesting
that she would do that. And so random.
I told you about my family drama. And it's not really, my family drama, my daddy drama. Now, daddy married my stepmama when he got out of prison. Now, at some point after 2008, the economy went bad, and so he lost his job in Georgia and moved up to Charlotte to live with my sister. He met another woman who worked with my sister and then married her.
Now, was this after the other one had died?
No, she's still alive.
Did he legally marry her, or like in just a ceremony marry her? Because that's
okay. So this is the thing. You can legally marry separate people in terms of what it sounds like on paper, but technically you're not legally married to the second person. The way it works is that you end up in a queue. Like, all right, so
how, if that's true, then how do people commit bigamy? How do you get in trouble for bigamy?
You get in trouble when somebody say it's happened and go to the
Oh.
legal people about it. If the people
Okay.
don't ever go to anybody about it, it's just an arrangement y'all got. That's unfortunate at this point.
Okay.
Or fortunate if you fuck with it. So this is what I knew before I moved up to live with my dad. I go to live with my dad, I get some different sides of the stories, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing is that Monica, the person that my daddy married, the second person never wanted to get remarried. She didn't have any intention of getting remarried.
So why did she?
Since she knew that my daddy was already married, she knew that anything they did would be ceremonial. And my daddy wanted to do some ceremony shit, so they went and did some ceremony shit. And that was fine with everybody. When my stepmama died, though, she officially became my daddy's wife. She did not know it worked like that. She thought that the marriage meant nothing, but no.
Oh, no.
Her lawyer told her in the state of North Carolina, if you marry somebody that's already married and you stay married to them and their wife dies, you become the primary wife now.
Oh, that's fucked up.
So they became married by default, which she did not want. And I think that fucked up the relationship in that way.
Damn.
Now, everybody has kind of been like, you know, your daddy is doing wrong. Why is he doing this like this? And I talked to my daddy, and my daddy said that he had set up for both of his wives to meet. And he was planning on taking her there to meet him. And nobody knew this. Nobody knew that my stepmama, who is the first person he married, I call her my stepmama. Everybody else after that is just their name. Monica, they didn't go because Annette, my original stepmama, got sick. And she was sick until she died from there. So they never got a chance to have that meeting.
Yeah.
And, you know, Monica and my daddy got divorced right before I got to Charlotte. My daddy gave her a year to marry him back. He said, if you don't marry me back by the end of this year, then I'll never marry you back again. Now, the only reason that she left him is because of his alcoholism. But when I moved down there, my daddy had just had an episode where he almost went into a diabetic coma. When that episode happened, he stopped drinking. He has never drank since that episode. And my Monica said that if she had known he would have stopped drinking, she would have married him back. But because she didn't on his terms, he let her go, dropped her, and then met somebody else. And now he's married to her, which is a woman who is my age. Well, she's a year older than me. So, I mean, that's the only drama I got. It ain't really drama. It's just nigga
pretty interesting
on Negro shenanigans.
Niggas being niggas, yeah.
My daddy said, and he used to like drop nuggets of stuff about his life. He said, one thing I can say is that I have always felt loved by the women in my life. And he was like, I think that's something that not a lot of men can say. And I think it's special to have had that experience. And you can tell, like, people in my daddy's life love him. He's just an asshole. He's also like his own version of charitable and giving. And so I think people like fall for the charitable and giving. Like, he's a server. He'll like do for you. He'll clean the baseboards in your fucking house. He'll cook your food. He'll buy the groceries. He just want to be able to philander in peace. Like, I mean, I don't agree with that shit, but you know, it is what it is. Not without an arrangement. It's okay with an arrangement. It's okay if it's something that we all agreed to, but like if it's just you doing what you want to do. Because my daddy got a long-term woman in his life that he paid like $1,000 a week. He just sent it to her. It's this lady who used to be in his life. She ain't now, but when he go back home, he go chill with her or something like that. It's family secrets time.
Oh yeah.
And my mom ain't got no secrets. She just got bad husband choices that she made.
I mean, my dad, who knows? Like, see, only reason I know a bunch about my mom is because I actually interact with her family. I don't really interact with my dad's side of the family, so I don't know as much. But I told you he a few years ago disclosed to me he got a daughter out here somewhere with my fucking name. Because what the fuck? Why would you agree to name your kid the name of a kid? I don't know if I'm older than her or younger than her. But her name is Jennifer. There's a Jennifer out here somewhere that has a genetic tie to me through my father. He didn't get no more details than that. And I was like, well, what the fuck is the point? Like, why are you telling me this? What what am I supposed to do with this information?
Yeah.
The fuck is the point? So yeah, my family's dysfunctional as shit. It is. But there's never a boring moment. There's that. Silver lining.
I mean, if that's what you want to see it as.
I mean, that's the only silver lining I can find in this dumpster fire. So, yeah, but we'll see. We will see what happens. I will definitely keep y'all updated. So,
well, that's all I got on the family drama tip, since that's what we drifted over into.
Yeah, well, I don't have anything. I mean, I could go on for hours, but I won't.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, well, that's enough, I think. The book is just like sending me. I just got the book jacket this morning. That's why it's fresh on my mind. I woke up to that shit. Like, she sent that shit at like 7 o'clock this morning. So I saw it when I woke up.
We should end this so you can go call your cousin back and get the tea meal going.
Yeah.
But well, you got anything else on your mind?
I do not.
All right. Well, until we come to the next conversation.
We out.
Holla.